Hello, welcome to Verbling. Hello there, I am teacher Oakley. And in this Verbling class, we are going to look at a couple of recipes and talk about the vocabulary that are used in recipes. What do they mean exactly? What are some of the verbs and obviously nouns? What do they actually mean? What do they want you to do when they want you to dice or slice or to cut brunoise or what are they explaining? We are going to do this by looking at a couple recipes which are actually Filipino recipes. I'm an American, but I currently live and work in the Philippines. And so we're going to look at a couple of classic Philippine dishes and talk about the recipes and what they mean and the instructions and so forth. Welcome to the class, Luo. Hello.
Hello, Oakley. Nice to see you again. Have you have a good meal, good lunch?
Well, so-so.
Oh, okay.
Not that great. My wife cooked lunch this morning and then just left it, and she went out. So it was cold. It was fish. It was little fish full of bones, which I hate eating because it uses more calories to get all the bones out than you actually get by eating the food. Not my favorite meal.
My lunch is under cooking in the electronic cooker. So maybe a few minutes later I will pick it out.
Okay, what are you having for lunch?
I have some takeout. I have ordered in last day, and I will eat the remain. I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
Last day, yesterday.
Yesterday.
Some takeout from yesterday. You are reheating it. Okay, here we go. Yeah. We're starting the lesson. All right. You are reheating leftovers. When we have food, it doesn't matter if we made it ourselves or if it's takeout from a restaurant. We call them leftovers. Put them in the fridge, maybe reheat them.
Yes, leftovers.
Leftovers, okay. Do you know okay, it's takeout, that's a different thing. Just related, do you know what it's called when you go eat in a restaurant and there's some leftover food which you don't finish at your meal, so you take the rest of the food home with you? Do you know what that's called?
Yes, I've heard, but I think I forgot it. I think they said dog, something like dog.
You're close, wow, yeah. You're very close. It's called a doggy bag.
Yeah, doggy bag.
Yeah. Supposedly, I guess the implication is that you're going to bring it home for your dog, but in fact, everybody knows you're going to eat it later yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Kind of funny. Heidi has joined us. Hello, Heidi.
Hello, nice to see you again.
Likewise. Okay, Heidi, Luo. We're going to look at a couple of recipes for Filipino food. Classic dish. We're going to start out with chicken adobo. Yeah, you've heard of that?
Yeah, I cook adobo sometimes.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Okay. All right, we're going to look at the recipe anyway, and we're going to talk about some of the terminology involved. Okay, so I'm going to do a screen share of the recipe for chicken adobo. Completely, totally one of the Filipino favorites, a very standard
very delicious
Filipino meal, yeah. Okay. All right. Before I start, let me say hello to Ken. Hi, Ken.
Yes, hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much. Okay. We're looking at recipes today. So, all right. Standard recipe that you see in English will have the title or the name of the dish. All right. Each individual uh, um, food that you cook with many foods in it, and all right, that's called a dish. So chicken adobo is a dish. In English, it will normally start out with the ingredients, of course. Those are all of the things that you need to make the dish. Okay, we're gonna start out with a list. Okay, first, actually, I would like you to read this because I would like to also hear how you say it, how you interpret the numbers and the amounts. See if you know some of the abbreviations. So, Luo, what do I need first?
Yes. 125 milliliter quart, 1/2 cup apple cider vinegar, and
Okay.
quart note.
Okay. These are parentheses. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so not quotes, so you don't have to say quote, end quote. These are parentheses. Normally, if we're reading this in English,
Half.
yeah, normally if I was reading this, I would say it like this: 125 milliliters, or okay, so or half cup, because this is a recipe. Now, this is different. If I see parentheses in normal reading, I can just read the parentheses. I'm usually going to change my intonation and pause so that if it was normal reading, you could tell this was a different or added information. 125 milliliters, half cup, apple cider vinegar. Notice I changed my pitch. That's in normal reading. If I'm looking at a recipe, this is obviously just a different measurement, or a half cup of apple cider vinegar. C note. Okay, not or C note, but C note. I changed my pitch. Okay. Um, very good. Heidi, did you have a question or a comment or something?
What we call cider or cider?
Cider.
Hmm.
Cider. It's a long I sound. Apple cider. Yummy. Yes. Okay. Heidi, next.
80 milliliter, 80 milliliters, 1/3 cup soy sauce.
Okay. I assume we all know what vinegar and soy sauce are. Okay. Ken, next.
Okay, 6 cloves garlic, bruised.
All right, Ken. First of all, what's a clove of garlic?
Maybe piece of garlic, 6 pieces of garlic.
Right. Do you know what in English what we call the whole bulb? Really, it's a bulb. What do we call that of garlic? The whole thing.
Oh,
Do you know?
whole cloves of garlic.
Cloves are the little pieces that you can break off, but the whole unit of garlic is called a head of garlic.
A head. Uh-huh.
A head, like you have a head on your shoulders, on your neck.
Mhm.
A head of garlic.
Mhm.
Yeah. We use head for a lot of words. A head of cabbage. All right, that's the whole thing. A head of lettuce. And it doesn't even matter if it's a round lettuce or a long type of lettuce, because of course there's many types of lettuce. But one plant of lettuce is called a head of lettuce.
Mhm.
hmm Okay. Also, Ken, how do I bruise garlic?
Maybe you push the garlic.
You punch it in the face. No.
Yeah, like some chefs like that.
Uh,
They push the garlic.
yeah, you punch it in the head. In the head. The head of garlic.
Mm,
No. Okay. Yeah, you can just kind of smash it. You can put it on the counter
mm,
and lean a knife on it and lean on it. Just kind of smash it.
mm,
All right. Um, so when okay, sometimes you'll have instructions, usually with garlic, possibly with other things, maybe ginger. All right, but when it says to bruise it, it means to kind of squish it a
mm,
little bit.
mm.
Okay. Luau, next ingredient.
3 3 centimeter piece of ginger, finely grated.
Okay. Luau, do you like ginger?
Yes, I like ginger. All of the seasonings
Yeah.
we love in Sichuan.
Okay. Me too. I love ginger. All right. What does it mean finely grated? What am I going to do with the ginger?
Great. I don't know what is grated. Grate means, so I don't know.
Okay. To grate means, well, there's a device that you would use called, not surprisingly, a grater. Okay.
Mhm.
A grater's usually made of metal, sometimes hard plastic. But anyway, it has sharp edges. Sometimes you have a rectangular one, it has different edges. So you rub a vegetable or, yeah, something on the grater and it slices off pieces. Or if you're grating, to grate is what you do, you make very small pieces. Okay?
Yeah. I think I know. It means you should grate the ginger entirely. I bought
Yeah.
a grater, but I don't know how to use it. I don't know.
Okay. Well, of course, there are also electronic
Normally I will
devices.
yeah.
Yeah.
Normally I will prefer to using knife to make them be a smaller pieces.
Yeah. Actually, when I cook this dish, I don't grate the ginger because I love ginger. So I actually like to have pieces. So I just slice it. But that's my preference when I make this dish. 'Cause I like to have big old pieces of ginger in my food. um, okay. Anyway, yeah, finely grated. You're using a device to smash it into or cut it into very, very tiny pieces. It can be thickly grated, like mozzarella cheese on a pizza. All right, you grate the cheese so it's slivers, it's long little pieces. But finely grated means tiny, tiny pieces. Fine means very small, by the way. So that's another word for fine, another meaning of fine. Okay, Heidi, next ingredient.
2 long red chilies, thinly sliced, plus extra, sliced to serve.
Okay. Um, okay, do you know, I think this is fairly self-explanatory, but if you're reading an English recipe and it says to serve, what does that mean, Heidi?
After cooked,
Mm-hmm.
you need to put the dish and spread another additional sliced.
Very good. Yes, that is correct. Another word for that in English is garnish. We call that garnish. To make it look pretty. All right. You may sprinkle something on top of it, like fresh herbs or something, or anything you do to make it look pretty is called garnish. Okay, Ken, next.
Okay, 4 bay leaves.
All right. Do you know what bay leaves are, Ken?
Yes, kind of the leaves, dry leaves, which add
Yeah.
flavor to the soup or something.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. It was. I lived in California for a while, and it was weird to me. There are many bay trees, and a bay tree has like 80 billion leaves on each tree.
Wow.
So it was very weird for me, buying bay leaves in a store when there's about 900 gazillion billion right outside the door.
Oh. So you can use that fresh bay leaf.
See, I don't know. I was scared.
Okay.
I've heard that they can be poisonous. Has anybody heard that? Or is that just like a rumor, like an old wives' tale?
Mhm.
Has anybody heard that you should not eat bay leaves?
No.
No.
No, you never heard that? All right. Probably that's what's called an old wives' tale. It's some old story that's not really true. Um, I have definitely heard that before, but I know in my some point in my life eating spaghetti sauce or something, I've definitely eaten bay leaves by accident, of course. Okay, Luau, next.
55 gram or one quarter cup firmly packed brown sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Okay.
I
And
like brown sugar in Philippines.
you like brown sugar in what?
In Philippines, I can't buy the same
Uh,
thing in Japan.
yeah, the brown sugar here, you're right. It's really good because brown sugar is basically unprocessed sugar.
Yes, yes.
Sugar's not really white.
Mhm.
I don't know who started that idea. Probably Europeans, I'm sure. But
It's very good taste.
yeah, it is. There's something about it. I agree with you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
May I ask a question
Yeah,
from Ken and Heidi?
sure.
Because you mentioned you will be poisoned by it, bay leaves, and
I
as far
said
as I
that.
know, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. In Japan, there is a fish, kind of fish called puffer. Probably,
Puffer
if you, yeah, if you eat there improperly, you will be poisoned. Maybe you will die. Is that
Yeah,
true?
sometimes people die. Maybe one
Yeah.
or two people in the year. Maybe. In that case, they cooked by themselves.
Hmm. So you need to be professionally trained, or
Hmm.
you should be professionally trained, rather.
So usually that fish in the supermarket or in the shop, the licensed chef cooked. So cooked by yourself is very dangerous.
Last year, I got some news from Japanese newspaper. The fishermen cooked by themselves, and they ate it with his wife. Then both died.
Oh my God. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, since we're talking about poison food, in reality, here's something weird for you, but I know this is true. I learned this in university. Potatoes, cabbage, cabbage and garlic both contain strychnine, which is a poison, just extremely small amounts. So it's not really poisonous. It's just that you're getting a very, very, very tiny amount, a minute amount. And potatoes actually potato skins contain something called selenium, which is also poisonous to humans in any kind of quantity. But of course, they're tiny, 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 tiny amounts. So actually, garlic or cabbage, actually, because of the tiny amount of strychnine, is actually very good for you because it will kill any parasites that like worms or anything that a human may have. It's actually very good for killing bad bacteria, parasites, things of that nature.
Several years ago, very young children died by eating potato.
Really?
Yes, I was surprised.
No kidding. I missed that piece of news. That's really interesting. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Fascinating world. And Turkey, of course, contains I forget what it now I can't remember. It contains a drug, which is literally the same drug that they put in sleeping pills. It's an organic version of the exact same drug, which is why if you eat a lot of turkey, you get sleepy, which is why Americans always fall asleep after Thanksgiving dinner. So there you go. Um, one thing. Okay, I'm not a proponent of drug use, but the reality is because I went to culinary school, so I had to learn something about food chemistry. Food already has organic drugs in it. Food is drugs. So every time you eat, you're doing drugs, really. Now, not enough to actually make you alter your conscious, but in reality, people don't really consider that food is actually chemicals. I mean, that's what it is. It's just a bunch of chemicals. Anyway, okay, that's another topic for another day. Uh, Luau, what does it mean firmly packed?
Firmly packed. It means packed very well.
Okay, packed where? In my suitcase?
No. In the cup.
In the cup. Okay, so packed in, jammed into the cup. As full as the cup can get. All right. Excellent. Very good. Heidi, next ingredient.
What TBS? One choose no black peppercorns.
Well, I don't like this. Sometimes you see TBS as an abbreviation, and sometimes you see TBLS. I prefer TBLS,
Okay.
actually.
No
Do you know what this is?
tablet.
Tablets. No, no. Oh, I'm going to take a black peppercorn pill. No. Tablespoons.
Tablespoon. Okay.
All right. It is pretty much the same size as you would consider a soup spoon. All right. It is just so you know. This one here. Okay. Here's another abbreviation you will see in English recipes. Do you know this one, Heidi? TSP. Can you see it?
TSD.
Yes.
TSD. Teaspoon.
Teaspoons. Very good.
Mhm.
And here is, I'm going to prove to you that I was a chef by giving you this information here. Okay. 3 teaspoons equals, 3 teaspoons equals 1 tablespoon, which equals 1/2 an ounce. Okay, so you can actually, and then ounces can be converted to cups, and cups can be converted to, well, ounces, cups. Yeah, you can talk about pounds, etc.
I cook adobo many times. I've never measured any ingredient.
Yes, well, you can do that because you're an experienced cook. And somebody who taught you to cook, Heidi?
Yeah, very delicious.
Who taught you how to cook? Your mother, your grandmother?
Oh, by myself. Or
Really?
I traveled and I learned.
Okay. All right. Heidi, do you ever experiment when you cook?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Good for you. All right. I like to hear that. Okay. Yes, I think it's very boring to never experiment. Try new things when you're cooking.
Maybe every day experiment.
Every day. Well, then there's such a thing as too much
My
experiment.
husband is a big.
Okay. Okay. Let's move on. Ken. Now
Okay.
this is a okay.
Yeah, large onion, thinly sliced.
All right. Ken, how big is a large onion?
Kind of like a fist size.
Fist size is a large onion. I would agree with you on that.
Uh,
Okay. I would agree on that. It's funny to me when I see small or medium or large, for example, onion or tomato. Sometimes in recipes you see those designations, those sizes. It's funny to me because I've lived in different countries and those what they consider a
mm,
normal or a medium onion
mhm,
in the Philippines is completely different than what you might consider a
mhm,
medium onion.
mhm,
Definitely a lot different than a American. Uh, I, I worked in restaurants in America, and a large onion in America is fist size would be a medium onion.
mhm,
All right, a large onion basically, if you hold both your hands and you stretch your middle finger and touch the tips of your middle finger and the tips of your thumbs, that's about how big a large onion
Oh,
is.
I've never seen such a big onion.
Yeah,
Oh,
they grow some darn big onions in America, I'll tell you what. Really huge sometimes. Okay, so anyway, all right, I'm with you there. Okay, uh, Luau, next.
Yes, 1.2 kilogram chicken wings, and
Kilometers.
kilometers. And this recipe make me hungry, and I will eat my lunch. And when I'm ready, I will back. Okay, I will tell
Okay,
you.
all
Okay,
right. Thanks, Luau.
thank you, thank you.
Okay. Very good. All right. Now you can use chicken wings, and some people do, but here in the Philippines they have what is called adobo cut. They just basically chop up the chicken into chunks. I myself like to just use chicken breasts, so I don't have to worry about bones. But
I
that's
like
just
wings.
me. What's that, Heidi?
I like wings.
You
Like
like the
that.
wings? You prefer
Mhm.
wings? All right. I prefer chicken wings when I fry chicken.
Mm.
That's what I had for dinner last night, as a matter of fact. But yeah, I like to have a. Where's the? You know what's weird? This is not really a classic recipe because I realize something's missing here.
Then I boiled a long time the wings.
Um, yeah, okay, we're gonna look at process, but steamed white rice to serve. But there's something missing here. Heidi, you said you've made adobo before.
Yeah.
Can you see the missing ingredient?
Eh,
Maybe it's an optional ingredient, but
egg.
at least.
Boiled egg.
No, yeah, that is another optional kind of garnish ingredient. That's true. I've definitely seen it
I
with a
love
boiled egg.
I love it.
Mm. No, what I'm seeing here, whenever I've had adobo here in the Philippines, and I've had it many, many times, it always has potato in it. Some
Ah,
big
okay.
cubes of potato.
Mm.
And this recipe does not include that. So, anyway, anybody who's actually looking at this, feel free to put in large cubes of potato, roughly the same size as the chicken. Okay, step one. All right. Uh, okay, Heidi, step one. Now, okay, the process. In a normal English recipe, just the list of ingredients, and then it will describe the process.
Place vinegar, soy sauce, garlic, ginger, chilies, bay leaves, sugar, peppercorns, onion, 500 milliliters, 2 cups, water in a large bowl. Stir well to combine. Add chicken and stir to coat. marinate at room temperature at room temperature for 30 minutes.
Excellent. Okay. All right. Stir well to combine. Mix everything up. Add chicken and stir to coat. What does that mean? Stir.
Here is a like stir rice on the fry pan, small amount of oil and
Wait.
like fry.
Okay. Well, stir just means to mix,
Stir.
right?
Ah,
Stir.
stir.
Yeah. Stir.
Yeah.
Right. Not
Stir.
sear, but stir.
Mm.
Different word. I know the word you're using. Sear is you want to brown the edges of something to seal in the flavor and the juice, the liquid. Yeah. No, I'm. Yes, that's a good technique, Heidi, and I'm with you on that. But stir to coat. I'm asking, what does that mean? Add the chicken and stir to coat.
Coat something.
Yeah, what does that mean? To coat something.
Coat or to cover with something.
Very good. We use the word in English coat for example, for paint. You put on one coat, two coats, or you put on one layer of paint, you put on a second layer, it's called a second coat. So if you're going to coat the chicken, it's kind of like paint. You're completely covering it. Okay, and marinate, one of my favorite verbs.
Put into some sauce or some liquid and leave it for several minutes or hour or something.
Right, whatever the recipe calls for, or whatever. Right. You're soaking it in liquid, in other words, basically. Okay, have you ever... Here's another... Let me make it red so we can see it. Okay, marinate is what we use for liquid. All right, coating something in liquid and letting it sit. Okay. What if we have the instruction to rub, and the noun is a dry rub? Do you have any idea what that means?
Scratch?
No. We use a rub or a dry rub. A rub is when we have ingredients that are all dry, spices and herbs. Okay, so you coat, for example, chicken. If it says coat the chicken with a dry rub, or maybe it will just say rub the chicken. It means you're rolling it around in these dry seasonings, not wet like a marinade. It's the same idea. You're going to let it kind of rest or soak up the flavor from the, except it's dry ingredients instead of wet ingredients. Okay, you do this. This is a technique you use when you're roasting chicken, for example. You may put garlic and thyme and salt and pepper on, rub the outside of the chicken before you roast it. Okay, step 2. Ken.
Okay, transfer chicken mixture to a large heavy based saucepan. Bring to the boil over high heat. Reduce heat to medium. Cover loosely with foil. The simmer stirring occasionally for 25 minutes or until chicken is just cooked.
Okay, very good. Okay, Ken, what is a heavy-based saucepan?
Maybe large, heavy base pan, like Chinese base pan for Chinese cuisine.
Yeah, okay. A wok.
Yeah.
A typical wok is a heavy base saucepan. That's true. Heavy base means thick metal. That's it.
Oh.
Just a thick metal bottom. Yeah, there's nothing that can ruin food easier than trying to cook food, especially over high heat. They're very thin metal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then everything burns and sticks to it. Doesn't cook right. Yes, I advise any aspiring cooks and chefs out there, don't bother buying aluminum cookware. It's pots and pans. Okay, we call cookware in general, different things that you cook in. Don't bother buying thin aluminum pans. They're garbage. Throw them away. They should never be made in the first place, but that's my opinion. Okay, what is simmer? Here's another good verb.
Simmer is a kind of boil long time.
Okay, at a low heat, right?
Low heat, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So, Ken, if I say a person is simmering, well, maybe not a person. A problem is simmering.
Mm-hmm.
That would be more common.
Maybe problem is accumulating.
Yeah, it's slowly cooking and getting worse and worse. Mm-hmm.
Scary.
Scary. It is scary. And I can say it about a person. Someone's temper is simmering, or if a person is simmering, they're just slowly building up for the big freak out. Okay, Luau, are you still eating? Yep. All right.
Well, just back.
Just
It's
back.
right.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Okay. Luau, can you read step number 3 here?
Yes, using tongs, remove chicken wings and transfer to a large bowl. Simmer sauce for a further 10 minutes or until reduced by half and thickened slightly.
Okay, very good. What are tongs?
No.
All right. How do I explain tongs? They're the thing that look. Well, okay. They're metal, but they look like this, but they're long, so you can touch hot things. All right. Cooks or chefs use tongs all the time, so they don't have to touch hot things. But they're long. They're shaped like a U, and you squeeze them so you can grab things. Those are tongs. I don't know Japanese or Chinese chefs and cooks, but Americans constantly have tongs in their hand somewhere. They're like the tool you use more than anything. You have tongs all the time when you're cooking.
I always use the chopsticks.
Chopsticks? Well, chopsticks form the same function, so yeah, that would make sense. Yeah. Okay. Okay, reduce by half. Of course, you're cooking it so that the liquid evaporates or turns it to steam, and it actually reduces the volume by half. Okay, Heidi. Step 4.
4. Return chicken to pan and stir. What did you say?
Stir.
Stir. To combine. Cook for further 5 minutes or until chicken is cooked through. Cool for 5 minutes.
Okay. All right, that's pretty simple. That's pretty direct. I don't think there's any questions there. One thing I almost forgot though, Luo. Bowl. It's an O sound. Bowl.
Yeah. Bowl.
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 Yeah, you got to be careful not to. It's not like owl. It's not bow.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be careful of that because, of course, there is another similar word, which you don't really want involved in cooking, and that is bowel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want that anywhere near cooking. Okay. Bowels. Yeah. Okay, that's the bottom part of your anatomy before, yeah, before you go to the bathroom. So, okay, never mind. All right, and last but not least, Ken.
Mm-hmm. Okay, return chicken. This part.
Yeah.
Step 5. Divide
The five.
chicken adobo among bowls. Spoon over sauce, then scatter with extra sliced cherries. Serve with steamed white rice.
There you go. There you have it. Okay. And in Philippines, everything is served with steamed white rice. I don't care what
Yes.
it is.
Mm.
Yeah. You can have a sandwich, but it must be served with steamed white rice.
Like noodle and rice here.
Yeah, really.
Instead of big dish, there's a small mountain of rice, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you're so right. Very unlike my American idea of how to eat food. Okay. All right. For example, all right. As an American, all right. You know, basically, half my plate should be the meat. As an American, I'm saying, okay, this is my idea of dinner or lunch or any food. Half the meal is the meat or the protein. Then this area down here, 1/4 is the starch, so maybe rice or potato or French fries or pasta, and the other quarter or 25% is the vegetables, which is separate, different, not cooked with the meat, but different. But in Philippines, it's more like this. It's more like 3/4 is the rice. 1/4 is the protein mixed with some vegetables, and that's it.
Mhm.
That's Philippine style. Yes, 3/4 of the meal is rice. You're absolutely correct. Okay, let's see if we run into some different terminologies with the next one here, sinigang, which is another classic
Yeah,
Philippine dish. I love sinigang,
I
actually.
love sinigang, shrimp sinigang.
Yeah, my favorite. This is pork, but yeah, my favorite is shrimp. You can make it with pork or shrimp are the most common, but also chicken. Well, basically anything you want, really. Um, Pork and shrimp are the most common. Shrimp is the best, though. I agree.
Before I cooked the sinigang, then I took picture of all process. Then I posted it on the Facebook. A Filipino friend complained about it.
Why? Why?
At
Why
first, I prepared the ingredient from the refrigerator and mushroom, carrot.
mushroom? Oh, okay. Actually, that's very, very funny, and I totally believe you.
Yeah.
Bec- and why do I believe Heidi? Because every Filipino I've ever met thinks that they hate to experiment. Oh, you're gonna put mushrooms in the adobo? No, you can't do that.
Carrot.
You absolutely can't. They will not alter the recipe of anything ever. That's like just verboten, bawal. It's forbidden. You can't do it, and they'll freak out.
There was no tomato, even it complained.
Oh yeah, if something's missing or there's something extra, they complain. Yes, I totally, completely agree with that, and I completely understand that. All right, we don't have as much time, so I'll just ask you questions about some different things here. All right, 3/4 kilo pork cut into chunks. Lua, how big is a chunk?
Chunk, cut into chunks. Chunk is, I think, bigger than dice. Maybe 10 times. I don't know.
10 times bigger than a dice. Okay. Often in English recipes, you'll see this a little more specific, bite-sized chunks. Yeah, basically a chunk is, I don't know, 1 centimeter by a 1 centimeter cube, maybe 1 to 1.5.
1 centimeter cube.
Yeah, I
Also
think
like
that's.
dice.
Yeah, well, dice is a little smaller than that.
Well, okay.
Yeah. Okay. 3 tomatoes sliced. Right. This is also not very good for this recipe. First of all, you probably wouldn't slice the tomatoes. What is a sliced tomato, Heidi? What is this instructions telling you? Because it's telling me something.
To cut into very thin pieces.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. I would change this recipe myself into sliced into wedges, which means something different.
I don't know wedges.
Wedges are like if I cut into any round fruit, all right, and I want to take a piece out, I'll cut it in at an angle, so I end up like a slice of pie.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Mm-hmm.
so I end up with that shape. That's a wedge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That shape is called a wedge, and also wedge can be a noun to actually talk about a particular device. Sometimes we use a triangular device like that to keep a door open. All right, you wedge a door.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, I would change this recipe into wedges because you want pieces of tomato because you're going to boil it. If you made thin slices, it would just boil into nothing. Kind of weird. All right. Can 2 onions diced? What is diced? Well, Luau was kind of explaining it.
Yeah, cutting in like a dice shape.
Yeah, okay. But pretty small,
Yeah,
actually.
for a small dice piece.
You know, chunks are going to be, well, I don't know. Maybe even 1.5 centimeters square, or even 2. Dice is going to be like a 0.5 centimeter.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty small. Okay, Ken, 5 cloves of garlic, minced. This time we're not bruising it, we're mincing it.
Maybe cut into small pieces.
Very tiny.
Tiny, yeah.
Basically as tiny as you can cut them.
Mm-hmm.
Like
mincemeat.
Yeah, like mincemeat. All right. Here's a weird one. Luau, do you have any idea what this is? Kangkong, river spinach.
Kangkong is a river spinach.
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 Okay. Do you have any idea what that is? Do you have such a thing?
I know spinach. But I don't know river spinach. What river spinach is?
Okay. Do you have any such thing in Japan, Heidi or
Yes,
Ken?
we have.
Oh, you do?
China, yeah. Like spinach, green vegetable, but the stalk, we can say stalk, is empty, like tube.
Ah, hollow, like a straw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's actually very good description. I forgot about that. You're absolutely correct. The stem, which is the main body of the plant, the stem. Yeah. All right. Yeah, and it grows in the river. I think it actually grows in the river. All right. String beans. All right. Ken, what color are string beans?
String beans. Green?
Very good.
I don't know.
All right. There are many kinds of string beans, actually. There are yellow string beans, green string beans, wax beans.
Mhm.
There's some that are a little longer and skinnier. There are some that are a little fatter and have more like beans inside of them.
Mhm.
But there's a lot of kinds of string beans. It's
Maybe
one thing,
beans are
Heidi.
inside of a shell.
Yeah, string beans are the long things, right?
Mhm.
Long body. That's one thing I noticed living in America and then coming over to Asia. In America, there are many, 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 many kinds of beans, string beans. In the store, there's like 10 different kinds of string beans. But here, there's only one or two. Okay. Same thing with lettuce. In America, there's like 40 kinds of lettuce you can buy in the supermarket. But here, there's like 3. I don't know why. Okay. Luau, what is horseradish?
I have no idea.
Really? And I don't know why this is 2 words, actually. It should be 1 word. Horseradish. Do you know what horseradish is, Heidi?
I don't know. White radish, like in Japan. No.
Well,
Potato?
I'll tell you. It's different. It's a radish. It's a type of radish. It's a white radish, a long white radish. But I will tell you, it's completely different than in the United States. In the United States, a horseradish is a type of root, more close to like ginger, but it's very spicy. It's very much like it has the same flavor actually as what's it called in Japan? The green stuff you eat with sushi, sashimi.
Wasabi?
Yes, it's very much like wasabi. It's very
Oh,
spicy.
I see.
And it's hard. A horseradish in America is completely different than what they call a horseradish here. Here, it's a type of radish. Horseradish in the United States it's very, very hard. You have to kind of scrape it off in very thin scrapes. It's like wood. It's even harder than ginger. But it's really spicy. Okay, the next one's really weird. Does anybody know what gabi is? Or taro?
Yeah, I know taro, the potato,
You-
taro potato.
Yeah, it's okay. Yes, it's a kind of a potato. All right. Sealy, okay, green finger pepper, hot peppers. Sempalok, this is Tagalog, but you know it as tamarind.
It is. It gives the taste sour.
Sour. It's very
Sour.
sour taste.
Like beans.
And it looks like a kind of a bean. That's right. Very good. Yeah, and it has a very unique taste. I don't know anything else that you taste like tamarind, really. Not exactly. Okay, fish sauce. I know that you guys have fish sauce in China and Japan. Okay. Let's look at some of the instructions, keeping in mind they're using strange Tagalog words. Okay. The Sempalok is the tamarind, by the way. Okay. Luau, can you read this for me?
Okay. Boil Sempalok in water until the shell shows cracks. Let it cool, then peel off the shells and with a strainer. Pour Sempalok, including water, into a bowl. Gently massage the Sempalok mid of the seeds. The second Sempalok is round spelling, I think. Second
Yeah.
one.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, there's.
Yeah.
Yes. Very good. Nice editing. And here's another one for you. Peel. Okay, this peel is a word, but it means something different. What does P-E-A-L mean? Do you know, Luau?
to cut off the surface, the cover of the vegetables or
Well,
fruits.
that's peel. You cut
Peel,
off the
yeah.
cover. That's
Yeah,
peel.
yeah.
Right, but peel is actually the sound that a bell makes. Ding dong, the bell is peeling. So this is also another error. You should peel off the shells. You're not going to ring them off with a bell. Okay, this is interesting. They're telling you to cook, and you're going to gently massage the seeds. Okay.
Very
All right.
comfortable.
Yeah, it's a little confusing. I have seen this before in English-speaking recipes, but I have definitely seen this before used in different words, the words massage, to rub with a medium kind of firmness. Okay, you might just see the verb rub. All right. The Sampalak meat off the seeds. So there's, okay, the hard seeds inside, and then there's kind of some flesh on the outside. Now, this may seem weird, but when we, even with a fruit, I don't know, let's say, let's see, what's a fruit with a big seed inside? Well, avocado, all right? We would call the part you eat of an avocado is the meat of the avocado or the flesh of the avocado. Even though you may consider those English words to obviously be talking about an animal, sometimes we do use those words to talk about the flesh of a fruit or the meat of a fruit. Usually in the circumstances where there's a hard kind of seed, which you're trying to set, you don't eat the seed, so you just eat the flesh. Okay, Heidi.
In a pot, saute garlic and onions, then add the tomatoes. Let simmer for 5 minutes.
All right, what is this word, saute?
Saute, French.
Yes, it is French. You're absolutely correct. What are they telling you to do?
Fry with fry some ingredient with a small amount of oil.
Perfect. Perfect description. That is exactly correct. And also, you need to, so you don't burn it, and it's only a small amount of oil, you have to keep it moving. Okay. Ken?
Okay. Add pork and fish sauce, then add the rice wash. Bring to a boil, then simmer for 15 minutes, then add the gabi. Continue to simmer for another 15 minutes or until the pork is tender.
Yeah, boil it, boil it, boil it. Yeah, it's Philippine food, so it's either boiled or fried. Pretty much. Okay, that's about it. Add the horseradish and simmer for 10 minutes, then add the string beans, kangkong, and sili, because they take no time to cook. They'll actually cook right at the end, and let boil for 2 minutes. You're only going to cook them for just a 1 or 2 minutes. Serve piping hot. Luau, what does that mean? Piping hot.
Piping hot. Piping hot. Piping, I don't know.
It has a pipe. No, not at all. This is just it's a little bit of a crazy collocation in English. It just simply means very hot, piping hot. We only use this collocation for food, really. I would never say it's piping hot outside. That sounds ridiculous to me. Yeah, we only talk about food being piping hot. I don't know why, to tell you the truth. The rest is silly. They have fake commercial seasoning if you want to cheat. So never mind that. That'll about do it for the sinigang recipe. Okay. And that'll about do it for my time for this class. So thanks a lot, guys. I hope you learned a little bit of terminology for cooking and working with English recipes.
What's terminology means?
Terminology, words, and expressions used.
Okay.
Yeah. Like a term is another word for word.
Yeah.
Okay, these are terms to mean blah, blah, blah. So terminology includes words and maybe phrases or idioms or phrasal verbs or collocations. All that. Okay, especially terminology. When we use terminology, we may be talking about using words for a specific activity or a specific function or something like that, like cooking. So cooking terminology. Sailing terminology, all the different words that we use for boats and sailing.
Maybe the jargon.
Close to jargon. Yeah,
Okay.
very good. Right. Okay, thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. See you.